Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell, and I'm joined by Brooks Monaghan. And Coach, let's get into action because we'll play this weekend against a big rival in conference, but you've got a few non-conference matches still. But let's go back to the other night down in Oxford against Ole Miss. Got out to a decent start, held a 1-point lead, but unfortunately Ole Miss got going in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, listen, credit really goes to Ole Miss and the game plan they had. They won that part of the match in regards to the game plan. I mean, they made things very difficult for us, and the conditions didn't help, but that's no excuse, right, with the wet field. But they put us under a lot of pressure, took us out of the way that we normally play, and they took full advantage of that. In the big picture, it was kind of a crazy game. Again, the conditions, we had a goal that we scored with no time on the clock, which, to be honest, was questionable, right? Yeah. I mean, if they said it wouldn't have counted, I wouldn't have had a big argument. But, so sometimes that works in your disadvantage, because I think Ole Miss went in pretty pissed off at halftime, and they brought that energy the second half, and they used it to their advantage. But in the big picture, Jeff, that was, listen, I hate to lose more than anybody. And we try to instill that into our kids. But if we take the right parts from that game, it will only make us better. And if we handle that loss the right way, it'll only make us better. Ole Miss, they were fortunate to be able to play a fall season, and in their league, I mean, they have battles week in and week out. And, it's in our first two matchups, and it's no disrespect to the teams we played. Ole Miss, is a different team than what we've already played. So they really exploited some of our weaknesses, which now allows us to work on those things. And, look, every year our expectation is to win a championship, right? So you can learn from wins, but you can learn a hell of a lot from losses. And it's important you take advantage of that.
Well, when you put your schedule together traditionally, at least since you and I have been working together now, probably for it's hard to believe, for about 15 years, but seeing your schedules, you play a strength of schedule where a loss out of conference is not devastating, and it's always a learning experience, whether you win or lose. And as you talk about, the step up in competition, your non-conference is geared to make you battle harden. Also, really bolster that resume, because your expectations are not to try to compete for championships in NCAA. Your expectations are to win championships and advance to the NCAA.
Yeah. And, this is a different year. First of all, just so happy to be playing, but you play to win. And, normally, like you said, we've got several opponents on our schedule that prepare us for a conference and those big matches in conference. And this year we weren't going to have one. And so, it was a blessing that we were able to add Ole Miss. The only negative is we lost, right? Yeah. Because it's a derby, it's a rivalry, and Ole Miss looks at it the same way. And you hate losing, but you if you could hate losing anymore, it's to your rivalries, and so but that's the only negative that we can take from that, is just having to walk around knowing that we lost the game, right? But everything else, if, like I said at the beginning, if we learn the right lessons, it can only make us stronger. So, when you lose a match too, it's like, man, you can't get ready to get back out on the practice field. You can't wait to play the next game. And, that one's in the past. We're working on things from the last game, and we're, just looking forward to the next battle, which is, another game that we're going to have our hands full in Central Florida.
How has practice been this week? Because fortunately this week you're finally getting some milder weather. We record this on a Thursday morning, may hit 70 today, and then you'll have that afternoon match with UCF. So how has training been this week?
Yeah, it's been great, man. I mean, we had a long practice this morning, 2 hours, and which is a long practice for us. And, most of the kids were out there another 30, 40 minutes just doing stuff on their own. So I think that speaks for itself. The kids are willing, they're excited to get back out there and prove themselves, and they know that we've got a tough match this week. So I think it's been good. We've had we've had several meetings and continue to have meetings, and just make sure that we're in a really good place mentally and physically going into this next match.
UCF going to be Sunday afternoon. And although you've traded championships the last couple of years with USF, that UCF rivalry still goes back a long, long way. And it's still a big match for you guys.
It really is. And they're good. They've got some, they're very well coached, and they've got some very, very dangerous pieces. And, it's one of those games that, look, we've got to learn from these Ole Miss games, because UCF is a team with the weapons they have that can really exploit you if you're not sharp in certain areas. So we've got to, and probably more than a UAB or a Tulsa, and that's no offense, it's me being honest, but we like I said, we've got to take certain things from this last match against Ole Miss and learn from them and instill them into the way we play against UCF to give us a good chance to win.
Good thing for the ladies this weekend is the fact that UCF's been able to play 3 league matches. They sit on top of the league standings now. They've accrued 6 points, so it gives you something to aim at for this weekend, and a little extra. And not that playing your best and winning is not motivational, but you guys want to compete at the top of the league, so you get a chance to play the first place team as is right now.
Yeah, and we always say there's no easy match in this league, but it's there are no excuses. When you get that next game after a loss, you know what I mean, and that's just the where this program is at. So, like I said, I mean, we're gonna have to be, we're gonna have to give 110% effort, and we're gonna have to be sharp. And I've got all the confidence in this world. I love this group, man. It puts a smile on my face every day I show up at practice. And, like I said, looking forward to getting back out there.
All right, Coach. Good luck this weekend. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, buddy.
Said Coach Brooks Monaghan. I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider of the Memphis Tire Network.